Welcome back into the Chad Slagle Show, coaching you to and through retirement. September, as I mentioned, is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And about a month and a half ago, I had a friend, very good family friend of ours, ask me to donate to a charity event called Paint the Town Gold. And my understanding was some high school kid that was currently undergoing treatment actually started this. So we donated a little bit of money and we went on. And as I go out in the community, in the restaurants, I see more and more things about this charity called Painting the Town Gold. And as I'm sitting in the barber shop one day, I noticed that the city workers are out there and they're hanging a banner on the pole about painting the town gold. And I thought to myself, what would be a way that I could help this charity get their message out? And I thought, well, you know what? We have a TV show that's on every Saturday. We have a great platform. Why don't I ask the founder of Painting the Town Gold and that kid that is currently undergoing treatment to be on our show? So I'm very happy today to have on our show on the hot seat, Mr. Todd Schultz. Todd, thanks a lot for taking time out of your busy day, getting ready to go to that Cardinals-Cubs game. As I see you have the Cubs jersey on there.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit about that later. But I guess tell our viewers a little bit about you and why you started the charity Painting the Town Gold.
Well, I'm a 16-year-old kid who was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic Philadelphia chromosome positive leukemia when I was 14. And I live in Edwardsville. I started painting the town gold because, while going through treatment, I found out that there wasn't enough awareness about childhood cancer. And there wasn't enough funds being put towards childhood cancer. And that bugged me. So I started painting the town gold.
Now, a lot of people think 14, 15 years of age, you're going to start this charity, Painting the Town Gold, and if you live in Edwardsville, I mean, it's taken over the town.
Yes.
What makes you think you could do that? I mean, were people like, oh, Todd, I don't know if you could do that. You just need to worry about getting better. But you kind of took the bull by the horns and really have taken off, haven't you?
Yeah, there was a lot of people who told me that it wouldn't work. The city would never get on board. But we live in a great community. Both mayors, the one of Edwardsville and of Glen Carbon, have jumped on board, and there are banners throughout the cities. The Wildly was donated towards painting the town gold, where we're holding our final event, the Mayor's Go Gold Gala. They're sponsoring it, and people throughout everywhere have just jumped on board and loved the idea.
You know, I have 4 kids of my own, and I almost got choked up. You're 14 years of age. I have a 14-year-old son. I guess tell us about some of the toughest challenges you faced when you got the news that you have cancer.
School was probably the hardest thing to deal with. I was actually in summer school 2 days before summer school ended when I was diagnosed. I had finals to take, and I was worried I wasn't going to pass the classes because I'm going to miss the finals, but the schools worked great with us. They said I had 95% in both classes. I don't need to take the final. I obviously know what's going on.
Right.
So I didn't have to take those. I passed the classes, but then the school year came. And that was so hard. I only went to school 12 days my freshman year. It was hard to keep caught up.
And we talked about sports. You play football?
I play football. I've had to sit out for 2 years. I was just cleared by my doctor to come back and play full contact, no restrictions. So hopefully I'll get started sometime soon.
Very cool. I look forward to seeing you on the field. You know, one thing that really blew me away when I got on your website and when I knew when you were coming on the show and really started doing some research, and one of the reasons you started this charity, there's not enough research out there for childhood cancer. And I'm just going to throw a couple of these out there. The American Cancer Society only allocates about 3% of its overall budget to pediatric cancer research. The National Cancer Institute, which is run by our federal government, only allocates 4% of its overall budget to pediatric cancer research. And joining you today is Mrs. Kaitlyn Motte, wife of Jason Motte. And of course, we talk about having that guidance. You've had a lot of guidance from the Motte Foundation, correct?
Yes. We actually contacted them sometime in January, I believe. And we got a call just randomly from their, what is your event director, Karen, and we had a hour or two conversation, and they said they would love to jump on board with us. We met, me and Karen, at Mike Shannon's in Edwardsville, had a 2 to 3 hour meeting, and they told us they would love not to sponsor us, but to partner with us.
So Kaitlyn, it's your turn now. Tell us a little bit about the Motte Foundation, some of the numbers that Todd and I just talked about, which again, totally blew me away.
Yes, those numbers are very much correct. And what Jason and I strive to do is the funds that we collect, I would say about 95% of what we intake goes back to specifically cancer research and cancer treatment centers. We also obviously work a lot with pediatric cancer. My husband played here for 6.5 years, and we have very close relationships with Cardinal Glennon and Children's and Mercy Cancer Center, St. Jude, where we're from in Memphis, and we are all about giving back and helping, like Todd said, make sure that the research needed for pediatric cancer and cancer in general is funded properly, and we're just blown away by all Todd is doing because, I mean, you are 16 and you wouldn't know it. To hear him speak to these government officials or to kids in your own high school, going around town. Todd and his mom have solely done this all on their own, and I think what Todd's doing is amazing because he's spreading awareness. And you know, you didn't say it, but I know his hope is that after this initial year that other communities will paint the town gold, and one day this could be a national project, and I think it's all started by a 16-year-old kid. That's amazing.
Pretty cool. You know, I guess one thing I do want to talk about is how can people donate or learn more about painting the town gold as well as the Jason Motte Foundation?
Well, we have our own website, ptgglened.org. You can go on there, learn more about the cancer kids throughout our society. There's 19 to 20 in just the Edwardsville and Glen Carbon area who have had treatment in the last 5 to 10 years, which is an astounding number for such a small community. You can go on there, learn more about the Jason Motte Foundation. We have a tab to learn more about them. It takes you to their website also. You can also learn about the St. Baldrick's. They're a foundation who allocates 100% of their funds towards childhood cancer.
Very cool, Todd, and I think it's very cool that children that do have cancer, they have somebody like you out there beating the drum. You know, you're a real trailblazer, and I think it's pretty cool what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Kaitlyn, thank a lot for joining us. If we didn't have Kaitlyn in between us and I didn't have this suit on, we would probably chest bump, but we'll kind of let that go. Folks, I want to thank you very much. I want to thank Todd. I want to thank Kaitlyn for taking time out of their busy day. They're about 45 minutes late for the Cards-Cubs game, so I do appreciate them taking some time to visit with us. And again, we encourage you to donate to Painting the Town Gold. We'll be right back. Very good.